Forza Horizon 6 is designed to be a success even more so than past games in the series, and this is because Xbox is relying on this game doing well to keep Xbox at the top of the gaming industry. The game has different ambitions and goals than earlier installments had, and the game devs have made intentional design choices to get this title in particular to do well. I'm Siggy, and I'm going to be going over what makes this game so different from the Forza releases we've had in the past. So, as you probably know, Horizon 6 is the most recent introduction in the Forza franchise, known for its great visuals and open world gameplay. We need to look at the series as a whole, and the state of the studio behind it to understand what this game is actually trying to achieve. The early Forza games were pretty much just a demo, made to demonstrate the graphical and technological jumps between the console generations. They came out at a time when gaming tech was a little more competitive. You see, in 2012, the Xbox 360 was carrying Xbox, crowning them the global leader in sales. They had plenty of money to throw at potentially risky investments, one of which would be an open-world motorsports game. The game was mainly a tech demo with its graphics and open world, but it also was meant to make a statement. They weren't focused on raking in cash with this game. Yes, they obviously wanted to make money, but they were also trying to prove they could make cool exclusives like PlayStation had been doing. But Microsoft wanted Xbox to be more than a game console at the time. Those of you that were around probably remember this phase pretty well. This is when they launched the Kinect and would keep trying to market Xbox as like a everything box. Movies, games, web browsing, you name it. Microsoft wanted to be there. But this didn't work, like, at all. Most likely because nobody's mom wants to hold an Xbox controller, but, you know, what do I know? So when you're down in the dirt and nothing you're doing is working, what better opportunity to hype up another exclusive that shows not only, hey, look what our new box can do, but also buy our gaming device. So they gave birth to Forza 2. Fast forward to 2016, they moved away completely from trying to directly compete game for game with PlayStation's exclusives, probably because they were losing, and they realized their true advantage, which was Windows. Microsoft had Windows software everywhere, so they strategically copied Apple and aimed for building an ecosystem rather than, you know, a completely different whatever they were doing before. Forza 3 launched with the Xbox Play Anywhere feature, which meant you could play your Xbox games on a rinky-dinky laptop. The point of this feature was that you could play your Xbox games on PC, and it had the whole Xbox Live integrated thing. But I genuinely have to question how disconnected these people are, because a AAA title is usually very hard to run. And they kept advertising the Play Anywhere, but like, if you're already playing games on an Xbox, why would you have another machine that is conveniently portable and can run AAA titles? And if you are playing games on a PC, you're not switching to Xbox if you have an entire Steam library, but, you know, hey, I'm just a consumer. Forza Horizon 3 in particular set a new standard for the games. They invested in making the game appealing enough to attract an audience on PC, and by 2018, Horizon 4 was one of the most hyped Xbox releases of the year. At this point in time, Microsoft was aiming for the full Xbox service ecosystem. They were striving for two main things: show people what an Xbox can do, and get as many people on Game Pass as possible. Forza 4 has a huge graphical leap, which is ironic because it's one of the releases that wasn't set around a new generation of consoles. They did this by investing in a great engine, allowing the dev team to push the Xbox One to its limit, and it looked fantastic. They also hyped this game into oblivion and put it on Game Pass. To be fair, the hype was deserved. The past games were like great, and this one was also great. But they made it more accessible, and that's probably what made it do better than Forza 3. People that saw the advertising and the hype around the game could play it with a subscription that a bunch of Xbox users already had. And if you didn't have it, it was a measly $10 at the time to play a AAA title, which it's like $30 now. They also took full advantage of the series being an Xbox exclusive and made it a marketing point not just for Game Pass, which was a fraction of the size at the time, but the consoles in general. I mean, Horizon Zero Dawn looks insane. They had to do something. Forza Horizon 5 is probably the least different out of all of them. Not that it wasn't a good game, it's just like Forza 4 2. The reason why this game did almost nothing different was because Forza 4 was such a success, it pretty much just copied the formula, because why fix what ain't broke? It's honestly kind of surprising they didn't do a lot of things different with this game. It came out between console generations and RTX was like the big thing. And that part shows. The game looks incredible. The lighting, the shadows, the textures, all above standard at the time, taking full advantage of the Xbox Series X and S lines. But when you zoom out, you realize it's kinda all it strived to do. And that's because the game exists as a tech demo. It refreshes Forza, new map, new cars, new graphics. It serves a purpose, but the game didn't impact any would-be PS5 buyers. They weren't trying to compete as an exclusive, they were just doing more advertising on the capabilities of the Xbox. Well, I guess they also did expand the ecosystem thing because the game did launch on Game Pass, but also launched with cloud gaming. Cloud gaming streams the game to your device, which solves the issue I brought up earlier about it not being able to run on your computer. But the speed of your internet to comfortably run the game is a lot. So you're not playing anywhere, if at all. Now we're in 2026, and Forza Horizon 6 is right around the corner. But what does Xbox seek to accomplish with this game? First and foremost, they're trying to innovate. There's no new consoles to prove, and Xbox has completely given up on trying to compete with PlayStation's exclusives. The game is releasing on PS5 later this year, so it prioritizes accessibility over exclusivity. The game is advertising unique progression where you no longer start as the hotshot celebrity. You gotta earn your street cred. It also is emphasizing community features. Not in a sell Xbox Live kind of way, but in a enjoy the game and the players kind of way. You can show off the cars that you design and collect, and this carries over to the auction house where the cars and customization are actually valuable instead of the mess from previous games. They are also listening to the player base. One of the most popular complaints about Forza Horizon 5 was the car sounds sounded like dog shit. So they introduced improved audio engine for this game. Get it? Engine. Because car, you know. Okay. As well as being set in Japan, which is a popular request for Forza and racing games in general, they're focusing more on the atmosphere and the culture, not just here's a new map, go play, which it felt like with Forza 5. To improve the atmosphere even further, they also claim to have updated the seasonal and weather changes so they actually do something and happen. This I actually am excited for. I hoped the weather in Forza 6 would have acted this way, but it didn't. So hopefully they actually come through this time. The progression changes, the atmosphere improvements, and the customization improvements create more of a purpose and more of a feel to the game. I feel like with a lot of other games, you obviously are the main character, and it shows. There's like crowds cheering you on everywhere, and everyone's like automatically impressed at your existence, and you're handed like $1 million car like at the beginning of the game because you're just that guy. The cars don't feel as valuable because you've either owned the car already or you had to drive it for like an event because someone gave you their keys because you're just so cool. This game seems much more promising. The game has a lot of potential, and if they actually invest in the game, it could be one of the best entries to the series. Xbox actually needs to invest in this because they need the game to do well. The Xbox subsection of Microsoft revenue was down 25% at the end of 2025. Their Q1 and Q2 revenue came mostly from Game Pass subscriptions, so they need to prioritize putting out big games on Game Pass to keep their revenue flowing. Game Pass needs big releases to keep players engaged, especially if they keep upcharging the subscription. This is why they're slowly releasing the old Call of Duty games. It's a content farm. They can't just use old games, so they have Forza 6. It acts both as a Game Pass attractant and maintaining the audience that's already there. It's refreshing to get a good new game release. I personally have high hopes for this game, and I mean, the facts add up. This should be a great release. I've seen a lot of people nitpicking, and it hasn't even dropped yet. I'm a fan of the franchise, and I thought it would be cool to cover why the game has potential and the background behind it, instead of just aimlessly putting hope. I'm gonna cover Microsoft and Xbox in a different video, so if you're interested in that, check out my channel, but other than that, I'm out.